Today, Deere & Company is the third largest machinery manufacturer in the world, with modern, sophisticated manufacturing facilities in more than a dozen countries on 6 continents. Our factories play a central role in the company's history, and they'll play an equally important role in its future. The story of John Deere factories begins more than 175 years ago in a small town in Illinois in the upper Midwest of the United States. This is a replica of John Deere's first factory, the blacksmiths shop in Grand Detour, Illinois, where John Deere invented and manufactured his revolutionary self-scouring steel plow. John Deere launched his plow business in 1837. In the early years, his shop was big enough to handle demand. He built just 10 plows in 1839. But by the time his business celebrated its 10th anniversary, he needed to increase his manufacturing capabilities. To do that, John Deere would have to move his company. The new John Deere Plow Works in Moline, Illinois, on the banks of the Mississippi River, used the river to receive raw materials and ship finished products. The factory's 16 employees could produce 2,000 plows in a year. By 1874, annual production had increased to 50,000 plows. Deere made some parts for its plows interchangeable, but plows were still made largely by hand. During this era, John Deere expanded its product line to include the Hawkeye riding cultivator, the Gilpin sulky plow, cultivators, shovel plows, harrows, and a corn planter. By the mid-1880s, Deere factories were churning out more than 200,000 plows a year. At the close of the century, Deere conducted time motion studies, rearranged machines to more advantageous positions, and installed an overhead track system to help workers boost their productivity. In 1910, the Deere Board of Directors voted to consolidate the company. One critical step stood out. Deere would, quote, find and bring into the orbit of the company several other agricultural machinery manufacturers complementary to the company, which would then result in an organization closer to a full-line company. The modern Deere & Company was born. Deere began looking for acquisitions that would fill out its product line, such as sweep rake and hay stacker manufacturing facilities from the Dane Manufacturing Company, and patents and grain drill manufacturing facilities from the Van Brunt Manufacturing Company of Horicon, Wisconsin. By the time of its 75th anniversary in 1912, Deere & Company had 11 manufacturing facilities in the United States and a 12th in Canada. One of these was the brand new Harvester Works in East Moline, Illinois. During the Second World War, Deere converted some of its manufacturing capacity to make military tractors, ammunition, and aircraft parts, as well as cargo and mobile laundry units. Following the war, Deere acquired an ammunition plant from the U.S. government and converted it into the John Deere Des Moines Works factory. Deere began the second half of the 20th century by expanding its manufacturing base beyond the United States and Canada, building a small tractor assembly plant in Mexico, and acquiring an interest in a German tractor maker. In the 1960s, Deere added a new engine factory in Saran, France, and a tractor and implement manufacturing plant in Rosario, Argentina. And in 1975, the company built John Deere Davenport Works, an industrial equipment components manufacturing facility in Davenport, Iowa. In the years that followed, the company opened the newly remodeled John Deere Tractor Works in Waterloo, Iowa, and acquired a maker of powertrain components and a European lawnmower manufacturer. In the first 2 decades of the 21st century, Deere has invested hundreds of millions of dollars to build new factories, and refurbish existing ones in every one of its major growth markets, with multiple plants in Brazil, India, and China. Today, more than 175 years after our founder launched the company from his blacksmith shop, Deere & Company operates factories around the globe that have earned a reputation for meeting the highest standards for safety, efficiency, and productivity. These factories are where we make the products that help our customers provide food, clothing, shelter, and infrastructure for the world's growing population. These factories are the heart of John Deere.